On January 6, 2021, the U.S. Capitol, the fate of a Republican political family, is about to fall with the dignity of the empire. Minutes before Trump supporters broke through the gate, Dick Cheney, a former vice president with a reputation for low-key inviting, made a worried phone call to his daughter who was deep in the Capitol. As a father, he reminded his daughter that the path he chose may bring unparalleled prestige and power, or it may ruin his reputation. Ask him if he's sure he wants to go on. In fact, Dick Cheney has long known in his heart that his daughter's choice is just like an impenetrable wall. Only when he is in crisis and on the verge of breaking will he show his full commitment. 47 years ago, he also won the reward of Vice President Ford for his initiative in the Watergate incident, and his career began to skyrocket. The eldest daughter, who inherited the Cheney family's political legacy among the two children, has been eager to prove herself. A few minutes later, Trump supporters rushed into the Capitol. The crisis came as promised. Chaos does mean opportunity, but until the last moment, no one knows who is the hunter and who is the sacrifice in this great power struggle. In 1872, a rich silver vein was discovered in the San Juan Mountains, an Indian reservation in southwest Colorado. With the influx of gold prospectors, the Indians were driven out of here. 2 years later, William Palmer, a retired American Civil War general, came to a small town in Colorado on behalf of the Kansas Pacific Railway Company and donated startup funds to a school here. Today, the school is known as the Hidden Ivy League College in the United States. Although its international reputation is not as good as that of Harvard, Yale, and other comprehensive colleges, these small and beautiful century-old colleges are favored by American aristocratic families. According to statistics, the median family income of Colorado college students is the highest among all universities in the United States, and 54% of them come from the richest families in the top 5% of American income. In 1988, 22-year-old Liz Cheney just got a Bachelor of Arts degree here, and his graduation thesis was entitled The Evolution of the President's War Power. Coincidentally, 1 year later, his father Dick Cheney was appointed as the Secretary of Defense by President Bush. At 1 a.m. on December 20th of the same year, in order to regain control of the Panama Canal, more than 300 planes of 684 American troops invaded Panama, and President Noriega's family was arrested. In order to maintain the legitimacy of the invasion, the U.S. Department of Defense renamed the operation Just Cause. Colin Powell, then commander of the Army, cheered loudly after hearing this name. Even the harshest critics must say the words just unemployment when condemning us. During the whole military operation, Defense Minister Dick Cheney supervised every detail of the plan, and his terrible desire for control made General Powell feel deeply headache. He recalled that Cheney was like a greedy black hole, and no amount of information could satisfy his appetite. He stayed in the National Military Command Center for several hours, constantly asking questions and verifying the staff. As early as more than a decade ago, this Secretary of Defense, who also made Powell feel difficult, was appreciated by the top Republican Party because of his meticulous and biting style. In 1974, when Watergate broke out, Dick Cheney, 33, was working as an assistant to Rumsfeld, the chief of staff of Vice President Ford. Once President Nixon steps down, Rumsfeld will automatically become the White House Chief of Staff. The White House Chief of Staff is a very special position, and he has no specific scope of duties or even legal requirements. The White House must have a length of wood, and its power depends entirely on the president's trust in him. As a close confidant of the president, he can decide which documents can be put on the desk at the first time, which can wait, and which should be sent directly to the shredder. And the Chief of Staff can contact officials at all levels on behalf of the president personally, report the situation to the president at any time, and make suggestions, which always affects the president's decision on everything. In good times, he can be a powerful presidential agent, or he can be a senior clerk who listens to orders when he is lonely. The key lies in whether he can solve problems for the president, show his value, and gain trust. As one of the assistants of the Chief of Staff, Cheney showed his full talent in helping Rumsfeld deal with the president's troubles. According to a declassified White House memo, he used the U.S. Department of Justice to put pressure on the New York Times investigative reporter Simmer to limit the damage his articles did to the Ford government. Of course, this is only the most insignificant of the president's many troubles. The bigger troubles will generally not be disclosed to the public, because they involve national security, and even no files will be left. After Rumsfeld became Secretary of Defense, he recommended Dick Cheney to President Ford to take over the post of White House Curtain Director. From then on, he began to contact the most core secrets of American politics, and the Cheney family's power began to take off.